crossover is something that just did not exist in years past. But we get to see it almost on a weekly basis now, and this is all gearing up towards a big invasion event with TNA against NXT. And I'm right in the middle of that.
Obviously, you two guys, long-time friends, long-time rivals. What's the chances that you two can run it back one more time?
I've said it from day one. I'm ready to do it. I know AJ's ready to do it. We just need, I think one or two people to sign off. And it's one of those matches, I think, that has to happen. Everybody has different, opinions, obviously, especially when you're somebody as polarizing as Hulk Hogan. And, I judge everybody by my relationship with that individual. And my relationship with Hulk Hogan while he was at TNA was nothing but positive.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of That's Wrestling. James here, and today joined by a very special guest. If I took time to read out his accolades, it would probably take up the next 20 minutes, and we've only got 15 minutes for this episode, but he is the current TNA International Champion, the OG of TNA Wrestling, Mr. Frankie Kazarian. Kaz, how are you doing today?
Very good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh no, it's a pleasure. I've been watching you for many years, not to make you sound old, but
That's right.
you're a veteran of the business, and without you, safe to say there is not a TNA wrestling. So the fact that I'm speaking to you is absolutely a pleasure. So thank you for giving me time giving yourself the time to come on the show.
Appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you. Very kind.
And you've just come a big victory over Steve Macklin with a little bit of interference from Judas Messias. So how did that partnership come about?
I don't know if I'd call it a partnership necessarily. I saw, like I always do in my career, I saw an advantage and I took advantage of that. I saw an opportunity and I took advantage of that. I was I'm in the business of getting titles, and that's what I was in there to do that night. So whatever's between Steve Macklin and Judas Messias, that's not up to me. What matters to me is that international title that I still have now.
And how does it feel having that title and knowing in fact there's a target being painted on your back right now?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to have a singles title again. I've worked very hard ever since I came back to TNA, and I've said that while this is very cool, I'm very honored uh, to have this title right now to defend it internationally. Hopefully, my goal is still to be the TNA World Champion, but in the meantime, I'm very happy to represent this company as its international champion.
And you mentioned just there representing it internationally. So would you say one of those goals is to come over to the UK and perhaps another Maximum Impact tour soon?
I hope. Look at if it were up to me and I was the man that made the decisions, we would absolutely be over in the UK. TNA has always had a very, very good relationship with the fans in Europe, in the UK and Great Britain. The crowds over there, every time we've been over there in the past, have been amazing. Very, very loyal fan base. I love going over there as a wrestler. I love going over there as part of TNA, and quite honestly, I miss it. And I know the fans miss us. So I'm optimistic that we're going to be over there in the next year. At least I'm putting it out to the universe that we will be, because I think with the TNA's popularity right now, the fans over there very much want us back, and I want all the fans to know that me specifically, very much want to come back over there.
That's awesome. Like I said, being a fan from the UK, TNA was like stupidly popular over here, especially during the Challenge TV days. And obviously, we had the British boot camps, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's so great. Unfortunately, I never had the chance to actually attend one, but definitely next time you guys are over, I'm definitely getting the first ticket.
Like I said, hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later.
Cool. Well, we just had a big announcement the other night, Kaz. So, NXT TNA Invasion. So, obviously, there's a couple of NXT stars. They've got the TNA titles, which is not great. So, hopefully, get that back in the TNA camp. But what's your thoughts on this big event that's happening and something that a lot of fans has dreamed of for years?
Yeah, it's if you're a wrestling fan, it's really cool right now because this crossover is something that just did not exist in years past. But we get to see it almost on a weekly basis now, and this is all gearing up towards a big invasion event with TNA against NXT. And I'm right in the middle of that, and I'm thrilled to be in the middle of that. All I can tell the fans is expect the unexpected, um, and really appreciate what you're seeing because, like I said, this didn't happen 5 years, 10 years ago. Companies working together like this, it's really cool. We're living in really cool times, and I'm psyched to be part of it.
And I guess a little bit of fancy booking. If you was to pick a one-on-one match with someone from NXT, who you've got your sights set on?
I mean, it's Trick Williams. He's got
Yeah,
the TNA World Title. I'm going right to the top. That's I've made no bones about it. The fact that I want to be TNA World Champion. So my eye is on the guy that currently has the title, and that'd be Trick.
cool. And do you think it says so? Obviously, you're one of the OGs to TNA, and the fact in WWE there's so many former TNA's legends slash stars. Do you reckon that actually shows the precedent of skill level that TNA set during those 2000s and 2010s? The fact there's so many producers over there that are TNA alumni.
Yeah, I mean, you look at, our roster has always been our strongest suit. We've always had, from the day I started in June of 2003 to now, we've always had such an incredible roster. But yeah, to your point, when you look at, I mean, first of all, you look at a guy like AJ Styles, who, for my money, is the best wrestler in the world, and the WWE audience has seen that now for a decade. But when you look behind the scenes and you look at guys like Abyss and Petey Williams and Bobby Roode and even like Sean Davari, even my old friend Rockstar Spud. These guys are all guys that cut their teeth and made their name in TNA, and they're now producing a lot of the really really great matches you see in WWE. So I think it speaks volumes to how good those guys are, how good they were as wrestlers, how good of minds they have as producers, and how much they learned while they were here in TNA.
Awesome. And you mentioned AJ Styles. Obviously, he showed up in Slammiversary to obviously great fan reception. Obviously, you two guys, longtime friends, longtime rivals. What's the chances that you two can run it back one more time?
I mean, I've said it from day one. Uh, I'm ready to do it. I know AJ's ready to do it. We just need, I think one or two people to sign off, and it's one of those matches I think that has to happen. Um,
Yes.
it just I know the fans want it. I get bombarded with requests, and I tell everybody, look at, I know he's ready. I know I'm ready. I know the fans are ready. And I think again, putting out in the universe, I think that's going to happen. I can't tell you when, but just know that all parties involved are wanting that match to happen.
Awesome. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Obviously, sadly, Hulk Hogan passed away a few months
Yeah,
ago. And obviously, without Hulk Hogan, arguably, there isn't pro wrestling today, especially
right,
nationwide.
right.
Obviously, you used to, you worked with him, part of Immortal. How was it working with Hogan back then? And like, what was he like to be around?
Everybody has different, opinions, obviously, especially when you're somebody as polarizing as Hulk Hogan. And I judge everybody by my relationship with that individual. And my relationship with Hulk Hogan while he was at TNA was nothing but positive. I got the opportunity to film a lot of backstage segments and do in-ring promos and go verbal jab for verbal jab with him in ring, which is, mind-blowing for me being a kid that grew up watching him. I'm in the ring cutting promos on him, calling him Thunder Lips and insulting him and stuff. It's incredible. But he was always, I can tell you one specific night I wrestled Abyss at the Impact Zone, and it was for our Explosion show, which is taped at the very, very end of the night. And I wrestled Abyss, and we had like a 10-minute match, and Hulk Hogan stuck around and watched it. And he could have gone back to the hotel and left, and he didn't need to be there, but he stuck around and watched it. He pulled us both into a corner, and basically he was just very, very, very complimentary of the match, just saying like that's how a big guy should work. That's how a guy your size should sell. That's a story that you guys are great. If you work like that, you're going to go to the top. And he didn't have to do that. There was no agenda. There was no, he just did it because he saw something in both of us and wanted to go out of his way to tell us what he thought. And look at, man, it's coming from Hulk Hogan. He's done a few things. So that was very special to me. So yeah, all of my interactions with Hulk Hogan were very, very positive.
Awesome. Well, last topic before we go. So obviously, we're only a few weeks away now. TNA Bound for Glory. What can fans expect?
Look at us being TNA, the roster, the company, we always show out when it comes to pay-per-views. Our last, giant pay-per-view, Slammiversary, broke records and was incredible. And Bound for Glory is going to be no exception. It's going to be our biggest. It's definitely going to be our biggest Bound for Glory ever. It's going to be our biggest pay-per-view ever, uh, and it's happening at a time where TNA has never been hotter. So you can expect the unexpected. We're working around the clock to ensure that this is going to check all the boxes of what a great professional wrestling show is going to be. Um, if you're on the fence about watching, watch. I know a lot of people from the UK travel to the US for Bound for Glory, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing a lot of those fans and hearing those voices in our crowd. It's going to be it's the culmination of our year. It's our World Series, and everybody on the roster is fired up, and we're ready to hit a home run and to really carry this momentum into the next year with what we've done with TNA and Impact Rest and the show Impact and all of our pay-per-views all year.
Awesome. For people who's watching this, please head over to TNA.com, sign up to TNA Plus. There's different tier brackets. Obviously, there's old shows, there's new shows, pay-per-views, bonus content. So yeah, everyone, please head over to TNA.com, sign up to TNA Plus app. And yeah, Kaz, thank you very much. Like I said, we had a few technical issues, but we got there in the
No
end.
worries.
Like I said, the man cave, it's still, it's a work in
No
process.
worries.
But yeah,
Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate it. I thank you very much for the time.
thank you so much, and hopefully we do this again soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.